All right, today's project is to coat the new competition package GTS wheels that I just got for the 1M. I don't know why I'm so excited to put stock wheels back on the car. It's like, it'll make me appreciate it even more. So I'm gonna do Gtechniq C5. And here's an interesting question, and I'm sure many of you don't actually know the answer, will have the answer to. This is a year old, or like 10 months old. So notice this was a 30 milliliter bottle that I bought, and I did a couple of coats on my Volk CE28Ns for the S2000. No, what wheels did I do? No, I did a single coat on the new Method wheels for the truck. The S2000 wheels I did Kamikaze stance. And stance versus this, I mean, they seem pretty similar. I can't say that I like this much more than that or vice versa. But the question is, this is 10 months old. So it's still liquid, still could clearly go on the wheels, but is it good? You know, this is whatever this is, $50 bottle of stuff. Is this viable? Should I use it? Now, you know, I'll answer that for you right now. I'm not going to put it on the wheels because I just bought these expensive wheels, and I don't want to go back and put this on there and then have it not functional. And the other question is, even if it wasn't functional, how the heck would you know, right? So I'm going to take all this time, prep the wheels, prep the tires, get them ready to go, put old coating on there, and then hope it's going to work. So instead, I'm going to grab a new bottle. So let me grab that. So here's the cool part about now having shelves full of awesome stuff. I've got it on the shelf, I just go grab it. I don't know why this is weird dynamic that I'm having with myself where I have all this, I buy it at cost, and yet it feels like I'm wasting. You know, like if I just buy it and have it shipped to me, like I don't give a crap. But now it's like on my shelf, and I have this like weird, like, oh, I don't want to use that. Like I don't want to waste the money. It's so weird. So I should be more inclined to go grab the product. So I have 30 milliliter bottles and 15 milliliter bottles. And I think, you know, I know for a set of wheels that 15 milliliters is going to be more than enough. What does that look like? A lot more than 15. So that's a 15 milliliter bottle. This one, aha, that's how you can tell. So actually the bottle that I had before was 15. So here's a 30 mil, here's a 15 mil bottle on the left, on your right, my left. And I mean, this is a ton. So to do a set of wheels, truck wheels, you know, I used X amount. So, you know, a 15, we're gonna find out, but a 15 milliliter bottle should easily be able to do 2 coats of product. So we won't need the 30 ml bottle for this application. So we'll also be able to answer that today definitively. We're going to do a set of normal, you know, the wider sports car wheels, and we should be able to finish the job with a single 15 milliliter bottle. This is Adam's wheel cleaner. So when I do the wheels, then I generally put it up like this. So if your wheels are already used, like, you know, or they're not new like this, then you're going to need to involve clay. God forbid, hopefully not polish, but you might have to polish them as well. So I'm cheating a little bit in that these are new. Okay, so that's the preparation. I'm gonna wash the other wheels, and then I'll come back to you and we'll get them dry and prep for coating. So this is how I do it. You know, this is how I coat wheels. So you can do it however you want. I'm just gonna show you my procedure using C5, you know, how I do it. So we got our coating, gonna make sure it's mixed. Take the top off. I've found that these stoppers do okay. Some people take these off. Now I'm gonna wipe the initial coating off of here. This is a brand new bottle, so we shouldn't have any crystallization. We shouldn't have any stuff that's that's built up. So we're okay on this bottle. But if you're reusing this, a good practice to have, push it, you know, do it away from you or anything that's important, and just throw it out. Make sure that you get all the crystallization off. Todd Cooperrider taught me that one. I can't take credit for it. So I'm gonna prime my applicator, and I'm gonna put it on in a nice even fashion. Now, people that install coatings are always talking about even fashion. I mean, there's no like special procedures, just kind of lay it on. You can kind of tell that it's going on evenly. Now, these are satin black wheels. I don't know if you can see this here, but this will change it'll make it a little bit richer. It won't make it shinier. So if you're concerned about taking your satin or your matte type wheel finish, if you're concerned about it glossing it up, it really doesn't do that. None of the coatings I found do that. What they do is just add a little bit of depth, a little bit of enriching to it. So it will change the shade slightly, but after you've had the coat on, you won't even notice the difference. So with your wheels and anytime you're applying a coating, just keep it organized. You know, don't jump all over the place and then forget your spot. I also coat the backs as well here. Like, putting more on doesn't help you. You know, it doesn't help you to just lay it on so thick that it just means you're going to be wiping it off and wasting expensive stuff. I'm going to hit this section here. Now I'm going to flip it over, do the front, and this is where organization matters. So I'm going to start on the M and go clockwise. And I'm going to work all the different cracks and crevices of the wheel. So I usually, by the time I get done with the face, I'm ready to wipe off the rear area, and then I can come back to the face. Usually I'm kind of in between cleaning wheels or drying wheels. I have some helpers here today. Dave's here helping me. He's out washing the wheels here, so we'll be able to be a little bit more efficient. So we will do a second coat on these. I think that the layerability of this stuff is a bit overdone. So this C5 is layerable though, where like Crystal Serum Light is not. So you can layer this if you want to. I'm going to do 2 layers, but the main reason is, for me, I'm going to do that so that any spots that I missed, I'll catch on the flip side. Okay, so actually I'm going to let that flash, let that sit for another few minutes. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. There really isn't much to look for on C5, at least I haven't noticed it. So you just kind of play it by ear. I usually wait about 5 minutes or so and then wipe it off. Okay, we're now ready to wipe it off. It's been about 6 or 7 minutes. If you find that you waited too long and it doesn't come off, you can always try agitating with a little bit more product rather than resorting to polishing. This back section is quite a bit more porous, so you won't even really notice much of it coming off. The front, that's a little slicker, a little easier to notice. So these are inexpensive, like $240 GSM lower pile towels, which I'd recommend for wiping a coating off, because we're going to throw them away when we're done with them. So you can see it's kind of slicked over, oil slicked over, and we're just going to go and not wipe it aggressively, but go and get all the cracks and areas done. So the whole point of this is you put in this effort now, and you'll have to do less effort in the future in cleaning and drying. You know, water should blow off easier. Brake dust should come off easier. And your wheel should stay looking nicer for a longer period of time. Okay, so there's layer number one. We're gonna let this sit like all day. We've got a bunch of other projects I'm working on. So it's earlier in the morning, it's like 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we started this project. So now I'm gonna set this wheel aside and let it cure for 3, 4, 5 hours, and then I'm gonna come back and put another coat on. And I would suggest that if you're gonna do a second coat, in order to really get the benefit from it, from the second coat, let the first coat cure. So, you know, a smart thing to do would be, let's say you did this, came home on a Friday evening, you took your wheels off, or you got your new wheels and you coated them, let them sit till Saturday morning. Or if it's Saturday morning, you coat it in the morning, go do some other stuff, maybe go wash the car or work on some other project, and then come back, you know, 4 or 5 hours later and put the second coat on. All right, so the second coat goes on just like the first coat. And what you'll notice is it's quite a bit slicker, you know, than, or should feel slicker than it did before. We let this cure for, it's been about 3 hours. We went out and shot the video series for the Karchers. So, you know, gave it 3 to 4 hours of cure time on the first coat. And, you know, I don't know what the magic formula is on how long you should wait, but this seems fine to me. And then what I'm going to do after we coat and then, you know, wipe it off, by the time I get the 1M in here and set up and we put them on the car, then I'll dress the tires and we'll have some time for the, you know, the coating here to cure before I don't want to top it with pearl or hit, you know, accidentally hit pearl as I'm dressing the tires. So I usually wait to dress them. And then I'll just avoid driving the car for a little while. I'll probably leave it in here for a couple of days with the wheels on it, and then just avoid rain. And then I'll top it with bead maker after the first wash. And I'll just do a superficial topping of it. You know, I'm not super worried about getting in every square inch of the wheel. So we'll, same procedure, we'll let this sit for 6, 7, 8 minutes. Basically what I'll do is I'll start the next wheel while this one is curing, and then then by the time I'm done with that wheel, then Dave can come over, or I'll come over and start wiping this off. Okay, so wipe off the process. Now this is where using, you don't want to use a ton of product, because then you're going to mess up your towel. So I'm using 2 towels for this entire project. And as I wipe, I'm still noticing that it, you know, again, it's not smearing it around, it's taking it off. So this is another reason why you don't want to use a ton of product. Now I just finished the last wheel here, and I ended up using the whole bottle. Pretty interesting. The second coat, I found that the barrels took a lot more product than it did before. So even though I had 2/3 of the bottle left, I used the whole thing here on this second coat. I don't know why that is, but it seemed like the barrels of the wheel took a lot more of the coating the second time than it did the first time. So if you had some really, really large truck wheels, I think now I'd probably buy a 30 milliliter bottle. If you've got anything like these, you know, sports car type sized wheels, then I would I'd get the 15 ml bottle and just manage it. You know, because again, otherwise, I mean, maybe it's better for you to just buy the whole 30 mil and just, you know, just use maybe you can use it a little less sparingly. But again, I'm able to get 2 coats out of a pretty wide wheels with a single 15 milliliter bottle. And if I rationed it a little bit more, I would have ended up with some left over. Depending on your lighting, you may want to get some scan grip lights out, or a flashlight, or a Phoenix light, or something like that, and check for high spots. But we've got really good lighting here, so I don't have to worry about it as much. And I always want to avoid grabbing the wheel with my hand if I can. Just move them around by grabbing the tire. That's how you coat some wheels and protect the tire. So that's been my process for a number of years now. I mean, C5 is a newer product for me, but I think a 15 milliliter bottle, 2 coats. We'll top this with bead maker in a week or so, and hopefully our wheels will maintain a nice clean looking finish for a long time. So anyway, that's the process. You know, thanks for watching this one, and make sure to go check out the mounting of the wheels if you're interested in the 1M, and see what it looks like. So thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. Catch you soon. What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the